to the front of the church, which I guess you would call that the pew.
The front of the church would be more so like the altar.
Okay, so he's going to the altar, right? But the camera is showing from the altar's viewpoint, right?
So he's
So
catching him coming down.
walking down. Boom, this nigga walking down. He got his hoodie on. He got the hood on, bro. He drinking a bottle, like he's getting he's drinking a bottle, bro. He's crying. Brandon real emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Is this video on YouTube?
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. So this is the I Am Athlete, return. So the nigga, bro, is walking down the aisle, bro. He's really emotional. You feel me? You got the bottle, and he's crying and shit, bro. So then it cuts to this nigga he's on his knees in front of the altar, still showing from the altar's viewpoint. This nigga ain't got no hoodie on no more. He got no shirt on. He's just shirtless, crying. Right? Guess who comes and picks him up, bro, to remind him he's that nigga? Take a guess. Before you watch the video.
Chad Johnson.
No, before you.
I can't even find it.
Okay,
he must have deleted it.
Nah, it's just on I Am Athlete page. It should be like the first video, unless he did. He might have had a bad reception from it, because I seen it was on Instagram. I seen it the other day
on his shorts. Ain't an actual video.
But nah, yeah,
unless it says this is the revival.
Yes, that's the video.
It's a 4-minute video.
Yes, but just pause it.
It's a ad.
Or just turn the volume down for a second. So yeah, but I want you to guess who comes and picks him up. And no, it's not another athlete. You're not gonna get it right. I just want to hear your guesses.
TDJ.
No. That'd have been a good question. Okay, it's nobody church related, and it's not an athlete. So you can get off that. Take a guess.
Judge Mathis.
No. I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Jesus, no. They are a comedian. So
male or female?
Male. This era. I'll say this generation of internet comedians. Male.
Internet comedian?
Yeah, internet. Like what the era that we live in with the niggas that's,
West Coast, East Coast, or down south?
I will say not West Coast, not down south. I guess you would say, I say Midwest. Because it is Midwest.
Country Wayne.
I thought he was from Texas.
I think he's from Georgia, for real.
Okay, but no, not Country Wayne.
Midwest. Hold on, Midwest?
Yes. Midwest.
And he's an internet comedian?
Yes, sir.
Would I know him?
Honestly, yes. You know this nigga personally.
I know him personally?
You have been in the same room with this nigga.
Literally.
You have been in the same room with this nigga.
Haha David.
Yes. Bro, I see this coming out of left field. I cut the video off. I ain't get past the first minute and a half. I said, I'm cool, bro. I said, B. Marsh.
At first, I was like, wait, I know him.
You have been in the same room. Yes, you have been you've been close enough to. What's up, nigga? Yes,
I've actually sat on that nigga's couch.
Yeah, bro.
No cap.
Yeah, bro. So no, yeah, it was. I don't know what Brandon has in store for I Am Athlete.
Would you really consider Detroit the Midwest?
Yes, nigga. What the fuck? What would you consider it?
North.
No. Like, I mean, in a sense, I guess you would say it's the northern Middle West. Like, I don't like, but Detroit, bro, from Detroit, I say Detroit, but from Michigan.
When you said Midwest,
Ohio,
I'm thinking like St. Louis.
Yeah, but that's all Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana.
I guess, yeah.
We're considered the Midwest.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask and what and
I mean,
and what's going on. South, Southeast. To some people, the South be like, y'all ain't the South.
I know.
So I mean, we kind of we like purgatory.
We also Mid-East.
We just in a weird spot. Kentucky's in a weird.
So Haha David
came and picked that nigga up to remind
January 31st, 2024.
You watching the video? See that
at
to remind that nigga that he was that nigga. I got you, brother.
Brandon stumbles in the church. Oh, he's crying.
He's crying. He's bawling. I don't think that was fake.
Those chairs look really stupid.
Real as hell.
Haha's walk is just so distinct.
You can point that nigga out from a mile away.
Brandon's dreads are crazy.
It's fucked up, bro. B Marsh is fucked up, bro. Yeah, I don't know what he has in store for I Am Athlete, bro. Even with it being the revival and shit, bro. You know what's crazy? I was thinking about doing a video on the downfall of I Am Athlete. Like I was thinking about doing that, bro. Because you got to think,
And he got Kanye Squire. That's cool.
but you got to think what I Am Athlete was at a certain point, and then look at what it became like now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that goes to show that like I think they was all looking at it as like, yeah, this is fun. This is fun.
Yeah,
We're quarantined. We have nothing else better to do. We're all retired. This is fun.
yeah,
But then they looked at it as, wait a minute, we're getting a lot of traction.
a lot of traction,
Somebody's getting paid off of this.
a lot of traction.
Let's now you have, and because they all are professionals, they all have their own spokespersons and stuff, and half of them, well, if not all of them, are married.
Yeah,
Like, babe, you need to see like what's up with the money. Some like you on that show too.
yeah,
You bringing in views too. So then a money thing becomes, and it's like, yeah, it kicked off with like Brandon Front and everything, and was kind of just like, nah, it's my shit. I'll handle it, guys. And like this is based on everybody's point of view and everybody's thing side of it. Now I know the pivot, like Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor, and them, they all
Ryan
came out was
Clark,
just
yeah,
like, well, in the beginning, like, yeah, it's kicked off with him, but then we started investing in it ourselves as well to like kick shit off and stuff. But like we really wasn't seeing like no for real, like fair pay cut when it all came down to it. Because like when it first kicked off, they were like in a bar or like a diner or
it
whatever,
was like
but
a
not a
restaurant.
diner,
It
it
was
was
like a
like a
restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
restaurant.
like a
Yeah,
restaurant atmosphere. And
yeah.
to me, those was the most authentic like
No, the
episodes.
earlier episode,
The
they
earlier episodes were
was
gold,
fire.
bro.
Was
Were
fire.
fire.
It was
But then
actually
when they moved
fire
to the
up until a
crib,
certain point.
yeah, when they moved to the crib, that's when you could tell, like, okay, they serious about this shit.
Yeah.
Like they locking in, like it's not just this random place. Like it feels homey, bro. Like, and maybe they meant to do it, or maybe they didn't realize they were doing it, but it almost like watching when they moved to the house was like they was in our crib because
Mm-hmm.
we locked in the house anyways. So you feel me? The fact like every Wednesday they uploading, bro, like clockwork.
Yep.
Like, bro, it was like they was chilling in the living room with us, or we was in the living room with them, so to speak. Like, you know what I'm saying? So then they moved to the couches and the chairs and everything, and then from there they start bringing on like just certain guests. It wasn't just them anymore. They bringing people on, and it really turned into like the it thing. And I think that's what really kicked off for me, at least. That's what really like did it as far as like podcasting. Because
It's
like you have people podcasting. I know people was podcasting way before they started doing it or whatever, but it was like the power of like what a podcast could do.
yeah.
The notoriety you could get from podcasting, the like all of that for me really like kicked it off and everything. And I was just like, bro, like that shit's crazy. But then when it all went left, like, and I seen that shit going left too, bro. I was like, bro, this NASCAR shit is not it.
Yeah, but that was, and I think that was
This, I said it, bro.
because
I was like, I said, bro, he about to fuck this shit up, bro, doing this deal with NASCAR.
no, for sure, because
Because that
we've
was
had this conversation before.
yeah, that was the fun. That's what made it fun, bro. They wasn't just fucking with just like one particular sport. It was just like, bro, like we got basketball players, we got NFL players, we got hockey players, they did the episode with Bubba Watson, and then next thing you know,
Yeah,
flew straight into NASCAR, and it was just like, bro, what we doing here?
so
And then they had rappers, they had singers, they had cooks, everything. Like Chef Nancy, bro. Like I love Chef Nancy to death, bro. Not only was she cute, she was fine, she was humble,
this
but then
nigga
she
here, this
also
nigga
had some
horny as
street
hell.
side. Maybe.
Nigga, I'm trying to chef it up with Jeff Nancy, nigga.
I'm trying to whip, I'm trying to stir up the
She can
pot.
show me stir fry anytime she want. But no. We like I said, when we did talk about it, it was kind of more in the earlier stages. I'll say mid stages of when everything was kind of like coming out and what was going on with the pivot and all this other shit, bro. But I think I Am Athlete, bro, is like the perfect example of I have an amazing idea. And the idea is so great. The idea is so fire, bro. And I can tell it's going places that I've never thought it was gonna go. I can feel it. I can smell it. But I want to be the boss so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna ask anybody how I should proceed.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon didn't really start asking anybody in the media and content space on how to handle his new found success until he started to lose grasp of it. Right. And once he started to lose grasp of it, it was like, okay, well, what do I do? So maybe I go over here and let me go ask a Stephen A. Let me go ask a Joe Budden. And it's like, bro, you get to the point. It's almost like, bro, you asking the people how to stop a fire once the fire already started. You should already know how to put the fire out before the fire even happens, my nigga. Like, you should know how to work a fire extinguisher before you have to use the fire extinguisher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't wait till the fire happens. You like, well, shit, how I use this thing?
Yeah.
I just throw it in the fire? Like, no, nigga, you got to pull the pin, all type of shit. But you should, like, but people don't know that if they've never used it. And I think for him, it was like, he didn't know how to handle that, bro. And he didn't know how to hone in on having a good thing and keeping a good thing, bro. Like you said, the NASCAR shit was a bad move. The shit that he was doing as far as where he tried to get the soccer players that nobody gave a fuck about. They had the little cooking show. And I could tell that show wasn't going to last because
too late.
Yes, right. And I could tell the show wasn't going to last because number one, like they didn't have enough energy as far as like to make it pop. Like,
and then on top
like,
of that,
and don't get me wrong, some of the recipes were good. Some of the recipes were good and the food looked good.
Nobody's really like the vegan. You can't take the community and audience that you had and then create a vegan cooking show and expect us to tap in with it.
Exactly.
It's like, bro, we don't give a.
But what he was trying to do,
your audience ain't vegan, bro.
What he was trying to do, he was trying to expand on something that didn't need to be expanded on, bro.
Yeah, and he admitted he wanted that shit to become like its own TV network,
yes,
so to speak. So that's why he did the cooking. That's why he had the different shit with different sports and stuff like that, and then also tried to do like the whole sports broadcasting thing too on the side. And then you got the gym, I Am Athlete.
Yep, you had the merch,
and
all that shit, yep.
And things like that, and the merch and stuff. Which some of the merch did look fire, but to me it was like heavily overpriced. So I was kind of just like,
well, because I think so. Originally, I Am Athlete.
When I say it looked fire, like there's nothing really special about a shirt that just like in bold print says I Am Athlete.
But see, this is the thing though. It was the I Am Athlete, the podcast. It wasn't supposed to be that at first. Like I Am Athlete, the Academy shit. That's what he was doing.
That was a gym.
That was a gym.
It was a training.
Yes, that was the original thing that he was doing, and the podcast shit kind of started, and it was like, damn, like I can use the podcast to push my gym and the merch, and then I can use this to push that, and he have a whole little ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
But I think what he was doing, bro, he bit off a little bit more than what he could chew, man, and it got to the point to where he was fucking up his own product, bro. Like the Bubba Watson shit was cool. The Jeff Earnhardt episode was cool. The Kyle Busch episode was cool. But once we got past that, I don't give a fuck about you interviewing the pit crew for NASCAR. I don't give a fuck about you having niggas try out shit with the fucking pit crew for NASCAR so they can see how hard it really is. Nobody cares about that. But what happened was, bro, that was during that time where NASCAR was trying to prove to the world that, oh, we're not a racist sport. And I'm not saying NASCAR is a racist sport, but NASCAR doesn't appeal to niggas. And yeah, you might have some niggas that might indulge in NASCAR, but it's just not appealing to the average black American community, and that's perfectly fine. But NASCAR was trying to come off as
we're talking black guys whose names are Kyle,
type shit. Motherfuckers that go
Man.
fishing, they go fishing, they go mudding.
I'm one of them.
No, no, no. What I'm saying, like, yeah, you might go fishing, but you don't go mudding. You don't go hunting for real. All right, man. You know what? I misspoke. All right, there's niggas like him that go fishing. They go. You stepping in shit, brother. that ain't mud, brother. That's
a different type of mud.
That's doo doo. That's human fecal matter.
But no, I definitely go hunting, fishing, and
no, and there definitely are niggas like that. But I'm saying like, but you don't sit around. But I'm saying like, but you're not. You don't go dipping. You don't wear the fucking woodland camo shit every fucking day. You don't wear the Confederate flag shit. Like you don't. Like yeah, you might do some shit like that. That's just because where you from. But you're not like, you're not hanging around with Jim Bob and Corbin. You did what I'm saying? Like you still doing regular nigga shit. Like you not like that's not, you don't have a pickup truck. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, it's just certain shit that you don't do.
I am a hood country nigga.
You did what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But NASCAR was trying to prove a point to be like, hey, we're inclusive and we're inviting. And so Brandon kind of got on that wave. And I'm not saying it was a bad wave, but I seen it. He signed a deal with NASCAR. Mm-hmm. He was doing an I Am NASCAR. He signed a deal with them niggas. And I think that was the first mistake that he did, because that was really the first deal that I Am Athlete was getting from an outside source. Like, hey, we're going to sign a deal with you and you're going to give us 10 episodes of NASCAR shit. Cool. But the other cast, they was like, bro, like this ain't what we got into it for. We got into it to talk about life and football with our guys. So now we're going to be obligated to do some NASCAR shit that we don't give a fuck about. And like they said, they was fucking with the first Bubba Watson interview. It was dope. They was fucking with the Kyle Busch. They was fucking with the Earnhardt. But then once it got past that, it's like, bruh, we talking and doing a bunch of shit that we don't really necessarily want to do. We don't want to be obligated to appeal to a certain demographic that, for better or worse, we don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with a deal we didn't agree to. You just did it.
Mm-hmm.
You just did it and it was like, this is what we doing. It's like, hold on, bro. Like, we gotta say in this too. So that's where that's why when you started watching that shit and it got to that point, you seen Fred dip off for a little bit. You seen and then you seen Channing dip off for a little bit. And you seen guys like Ocho stop coming around. You seen Reggie Wayne left early. DJ Williams left early. Like, you seen the relationship that he had with these guys that seemed like it was consistent, it was good, started to deteriorate. But that was because
Reggie said he seen early on. It was just
Reggie and Reggie was like, bro, I'm not about to put up with this shit, bro. Like no disrespect to the guys, but I can see like the early signs of Brandon is he's like a control freak. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say he's power hungry, but he wants to he wants to be the nigga to build something. And it's like, bro, like you're trying to emulate something that you don't have no real stake in, bro. You really just getting started, bro. Like you trying to build something and you ain't never built nothing like this before. You don't really know what it takes. You don't know you know what it looks like, but you don't know what it takes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I had this conversation with the homie the other day, and he was talking about like he was trying to do some shit for like his brand, and he was comparing his brand to other brands that are already where they're at. And I'm like, bruh, this is like me bringing over a pot of gumbo and you tasting the gumbo and you like, damn, I can taste the peppers, I can taste the onions, I can taste the sausages, I can taste the chicken, and I can taste the shrimp. So do you like, shit, I'll make my own gumbo. And you go and that's all you get. But then you get home and you like, damn, how the fuck you really put this shit together?
Yeah.
Like, it takes more than what you can see. It takes more than what you could just quote unquote taste. Like, it takes more than that, bro. Like, you don't know how long I cooked this. You don't know if I cooked this separate. You don't know what I put over here. You don't know what season I use. You don't know. You just know what you can see or you can smell. But it's so much deeper than that, bro. And so, like, I think with Brandon, he was just looking at it from a surface level, like, damn, I can have me a network. I can do something like what Joe Budden doing. Joe Budden doing, he got the podcast and got this, and that. I'm going to try to do the same thing. Or we can be like the Breakfast Club. Or we can be like this. Or we can be like that. And it's like, bro, you're new to this space, bro. Like, you got to take this shit one step at a time. Like, master the podcast shit. You kind of mastered the facility shit with the gym, because you opened up you got 2 spots. You mastered that aspect of it. You got people coming and training. You got people sending their kids, their cousins, their nephews, their daughters, whatever, to your facilities to train with your coaches and shit. You're mastering that. Boom. Now master the podcast part. They didn't master the merch shit. The merch shit was fucked up. He tried to do the I Am Woman. It didn't work.
Nope.
It didn't work. You
Then he
tried to
did
do the
the
cooking show,
IMLA.
but that was after
Left.
niggas left. So that was after niggas left. He tried to break it down in the regions. He had the I Am Floor, he had the I Am Miami, the I Am LA, and he had the I Am Woman. It failed. He rebranded it and just brought back I Am Athlete with the Shady was there, and they had some good episodes. The Kyrie episode was dope. I forgot who
Shady,
else.
he
I
had
forgot who else.
Pac-Man on
Yeah,
there.
he brought back some niggas that came. Shit, the Stephen A. Smith episode was dope. Like they had some good episodes after the fact.
Crazy work.
They had that's what I'm saying.
Crazy work.
They had some good episodes after the fact, but you could tell that it was like, bruh, like nigga, you fucked up the assignment, and instead of you starting over,
Because
you
Shady
just
and
you
Pac-Man
just trying to fix what you fucked up.
they were once guests.
Exactly.
So
And
now you take people that were guests and now you making them
host.
hosts.
Yep.
And it's just like
And it was just different, bro. And it was like, and you could tell, and it was the same thing with fucking with Shady, and the same thing with like Pac-Man. Like you could tell that they was kind of like that they was both kind of like I'm not gonna say that they felt a type of way about Brandon, but you could tell that even with Deshaun Jackson, you try to make Deshaun Jackson host. It was just, bro, it just got to the point to where it was like, bro, like this shit is not gonna work. And you could just look at the numbers on the YouTube, like, and their competition was the Pivot. So the Pivot, they haven't guessed like Shaq. They haven't guessed like The Rock. They haven't guessed like, I don't think they had a Rock yet, but they haven't guessed like Shaq. They haven't guessed like Kevin Hart. Like they have Floyd. Like they doing all this stuff, and it's like, bruh, they are knocking this shit out of the park. Like their episodes are doing 2, 3, 4, 500,000. Some of them doing 1,000,000 within the first week. I Am Athlete was barely hitting 20,000.
I will say Ryan Clark definitely opened the door for that show.
But you know why he opened the door for the show?
Well,
Because he understood that if I'm gonna do it, so this is what he did. He didn't think he didn't think he was bigger than the product.
yeah.
Nobody looks at the Pivot and thinks like that's Ryan Clark shit. They look at the Pivot as, nigga, that's the Pivot.
Well, I seen it. Ryan Clark opened the door for the simple fact that like Ryan Clark is more sellable. He's more marketable than
He's a better host. He's a better host.
He's a better host, and he's more marketable than Brandon Marshall is, because you got to think Ryan Clark had already been doing this thing on ESPN, and then Ryan Clark now has opened doors for them that they probably had aspirations to do with Brandon Marshall and I Am Athlete, but probably would have never gotten to, because Brandon Marshall isn't on TV like Ryan Clark is. So Ryan Clark,
but he was. He kept fucking up.
I know he was.
He kept fucking up.
He was, but like you said, he kept messing up. And not only was he messing up, he was also just like being way too argumentative. And it's like when like how you get the viral moment where he's swearing up and down like, nah, the NBA is this. And like,
when his veins was popping out his head, he was going crazy. He was going crazy. But that was good. That was a good.
I'm saying that to say, like, that's why I think he didn't make it on TV, is because it's just like, Brandon, you're wrong.
Yes.
And not only are you wrong by like a whole, like, bro, we supposed to be in New York right now, my boy. You all the way in LA. You in Midwest, Detroit. That's where you at right now, bro. And you are so off right now, bro. Yeah. It don't even make any sense.
Yeah.
And like, you so gun ho, and he be swearing like, I did the research, I looked it up, but it's like, Brandon, bro, you can't just Google, you can't just believe everything that you Google
and shit.
Bro.
Yeah,
like you tripping, bro. So like, I think that kind of did it. And then you look at like Madden. Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder, Ryan Clark been on the last 3 Madden games.
What do you mean? Oh, you talking about the shit like that. Yeah.
They've been featured in the last 3 Madden, bro.
But you know what that is though too though. So,
and it's like they wouldn't have got that from I Am Athlete if being there with Brandon Marshall.
Well, I kind of know what happened with that. So Brandon, like I said, Brandon he did a lot of shit after the fact. So Brandon was like he wanted to be the athlete media version of Joe Budden, bro. And so what happened was he was looking for these deals and these situations where he wanted ownership. Man is not going to give you no type of ownership. Ryan is smart enough to say, hey guys, this is an opportunity for us to be on a football game. This opportunity for us to be visible and shown on a football game.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Like, just like when when the Pivot, when they interviewed they did an episode with Terrence Crawford and did an episode with Errol Spence. Their footage was shown on what's the shit that they do for the fight? The inside shit that they do, Showtime was doing for the fight that they were doing. Like the fight week with 24 hours or whatever the shit that they do for the boxing matches that they do.
Like the premiere box?
Like the inside shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where they show the lead up to the fight. Their footage.
It's just Showtime boxing.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying, the shit that they do, because they do like
I know it's like
the weekend,
it's like the month leading up to the fight.
Exactly. Where they do that shit. And so their footage from the podcast episode
shows them in the gym, shows them working out, chilling with the family.
Their footage from the podcast episode was on. It was featured. Like not just shown, like it was featured. Like Showtime had their own cameras there as well. So the Pivot had their crew there recording. Mm-hmm. Showtime had their crew there recording. Mm-hmm. And then it was shown clips and like, so it's like with Brandon wouldn't have done that. Brandon wouldn't have necessarily done a deal with DraftKings to where they would have went to the shit and did a collab episode, the Pivot with all the smoke. Before the fact, Brandon's not doing that. After the fact, I could see him doing it because he's learning. Mm-hmm. But in the moment, it's like, I want ownership. Mm-hmm. You can't always get ownership. Like that ownership shit doesn't always work. Like it can work. It can work out to be detrimental to the situation, or it could be beneficial to the situation. In Brandon's situation, it was detrimental because you had people there. You had somebody who could fill in your spot and do it better than you. I don't think Channing and Fred could do the Pivot without Ryan. You dig what I'm saying? Like they need, it's like, it's the same.
That's my whole thing. That's why I'm saying, like, not only could they not have done the Pivot without Ryan, but they also wouldn't have the success that they had without Ryan.
Channing, like Fred is Fred. Freaky Fred is Freaky Fred. But, excuse me, Channing is still the star in a sense. Like Channing still has most of the viral moments. He's still got all the viral moments, still this thing like that, still a lot of shit. Like he is still that guy for them. But you need somebody like a Ryan Clark who is able to, I can direct something and I can, whoever our guest is, I can be easy on my guest and I can ease them into a conversation to where we can have a real transparent conversation with Fred. Or I can be the bridge to ease the gap between these two different people where Channing and this person, they probably wouldn't click outside of this room, but I can be the person to make them in the same room click and it makes sense.
And he's cool with going off script. So like when they be having, or they'll have like you said, they serious moments, and then out of nowhere, Channing will be like, "Do you manscape?" Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you feel me, like hey, bro, he just knows how to read the room.
Yeah.
And Ryan Clark is amazing at reading the room, bro. And he's amazing at keeping that show clicking and going in all aspects. And I think that just goes to one, his personality and what type of guy he really is. And then two, just his experience from like being on TV and knowing how to just go with the flow and and knowing that like, bro, yeah, we have a script, so to speak. Not saying that the shows are all scripted, but I think they all have like a production plan to like what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about this for 45 minutes, and then we're gonna hit on this, and we're gonna do that. And he has a knack for going in and out of the script. Like I said, he can just read the room very, very well.
Yeah.
And he does a great job at doing that. And then not only can he do that, but he's done got these guys on ESPN, like, bro, like
Yep.
they be on ESPN First Take or just ESPN regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, damn. And then, like you said, the Madden shit, this their third season, their third time in a row where like they own Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the fourth time.
No,
No,
it
I
ain't
think
four.
it's the third.
About third.
Because
Yeah.
I Am Athlete was 2020, and then 2021 they broke off and did their own thing, doing the pivot, or like late 2021
Yeah.
into 2022. So it's just like, bruh. So like this they second or third time being I think this is number three. Number three being on Madden, because this is Madden 25.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's their third time appearing on Madden, bro. Like that's major, bro. And not just major because it's Madden, but just for the simple fact that they accomplishing everything that they set out to do with Brandon.
Yep.
But Brandon got too full of himself and ahead of himself, and to me, very, very greedy.
Yep.
And was looking at it like, bro, this my baby. This I started, like, bro, went through his whole, you feel me? Man, I started this barbecue business shit. Is this the motherfucking thing second? Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? He went through his Uncle Elroy, bro.
Yeah, no,
he
for
was
sure.
just tripping, bro. Like you wilding, bro. Like just relax.
Calm down, bro.
You gotta chill. You gotta relax, my boy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, yeah, you started this, bro. But like some of your most viral moments outside of the argument with you and Chad Johnson or Ocho Cinco,
Yep.
is Freaky Fred not knowing how to count.
55-50.
Freaky Fred not knowing how to count. Freaky Fred just being Freaky Fred.
Yeah.
Channing being Channing.
Yeah.
Then you
Ocho
got
versus
Chad,
Science.
Ocho versus Science.
Yeah.
And then it's you. Like, you got your moments at the beginning where it's like, all right, bro, let's do a mental health like thing.
Your type shit. Yeah.
Like, you feel me?
And that was another aspect too that they
I love
they
that.
kind
I
of
love that part of it
they
because
didn't have a problem with it, but they was also like, that's not the type of time that we're on. There was like, yes, Brandon is really, really big into mental health. We have no issue with that. We don't have no issue with the checking on your friends and all this shit. But they was like, he was trying to like market the mental health shit. And it was like, bro, that's not like, we not saying we don't care, but respectfully, nigga, we don't care. Like, it's like, bro, like, we not here for that. And it's like, bro, we thought it was some other shit. Like, we don't have a problem with that, but we not trying to market and make money off of the mental health shit. Like, that's not what we want our brand built on.
But like I said in the beginning, I was just like, bro, to me, Brandon started that, like, for him, this was group therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's
get out the house, hang with my friends.
Secret. He's always been on some, like,
he's fucked up.
Like, bro, like,
he's bipolar.
My mental health is crazy. I'm bipolar.
Yeah.
And I hate to use the term crazy in the sense of,
you can say it.
But like up. His mental health is wild. And I say crazy just as an expression, not as a mental state of mind. But like his mental health is wild and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then also because of that, you gotta think somebody who's like that and just open about that. And I didn't realize Brandon Marshall's life was like so
fucked up. He's been through some shit,
bro. He's been through so much.
Old girl stabbed him in the club. Like, yo, he's been through some shit.
Getting stabbed. His father was a kingpin. Like,
he's been through some shit, bro.
Like, bro,
I didn't
know half of that stuff until like he opened up about that on the show, and I was just like, dang, bro, that's wild. That's wild, bro. Like, God, like you can't blame him for him being him. Like, I remember as a kid watching him play, bro. I used to be like, dude, this dude is psycho. Like,
this nigga Looney Tunes.
Like, this dude is psycho, brother. Like, what's going on with this brother's headset?
Yeah.
Like, he just ain't there mentally. Like, that's crazy. But then you do the I Am Athlete, and then he opens up about it, and it's just like, oh, damn. Okay, well, maybe he's like that because of the way he grew up and the environment. Like, I think even one time, I mean, hopefully I'm not wrong on this, but like, he was involved in like a bad car accident. He was hit by like somebody in his family, like hitting with a car or some shit like that.
I think it was right a bit. I don't want to say it was his wife. Pops. I think it was his wife.
I thought it was
shit
his
happened.
Pops. But somebody like ran him over with a car or something, bro. Like he talked about that shit, and I was just like, bro, what the hell? Or maybe it wasn't a car, but it was something crazy like that, bro. I just remember being involved with a car.
I know during like, COVID. Damn. I remember during COVID they said.
It was like a bowling alley and a car, and he was hit, and all this other stuff. And I was just like, bro, what?
I remember during COVID, I think he said he had a mental breakdown and he was running down the street naked or some shit, bro. Some like
I remember that too.
he's done been fucked up. He's done been through some shit. Like I don't want to just diminish anything that
Yeah.
he's going through mentally or whatever. But I think that a lot of what he's been through in the past 3 years with I Am Athlete and the brand and relationships with his friends and coworkers and shit of that nature, a lot of it could have been avoided if he would have took a step back and realized, like, bro, like I can be great in this field. I don't have to fight to be great in this field. I just have to let it come and let it happen. It's like, bro, like watching the difference, and I hate to compare it, but like watching the difference between how he handled being on TV and doing shit, and watching the difference between him and Ryan Clark is night and day. I watched Ryan Clark kind of let it get to the point to where people started saying, "Hey, bro, you really a monster. Like you really are great at this shit. Like I don't have to stand up and say I'm great, everybody." Like people said, "Nah, nigga, Ryan Clark, you great. Like you're really good at this." And that led to when it was time for Ryan Clark to go negotiate another deal with ESPN. ESPN realized, like, shit, we got to keep this nigga. We would hate to lose this nigga to Fox. We would hate to lose this nigga to CBS outright, because he does do other shit. He does do the NFL shit on the CW. He does do shit with these other platforms and stuff. And he does do the pivot. But he's also a host on ESPN. When Greeny can't host Get Up, the first person they call is called Ryan Clark. If Stephen A and them niggas can't be their first person, they call them Ryan Clark. Because they know he can handle it. They know that he's going to handle it not only as he should, but as a professional. And he's going to take it serious. He understands what the job is to do.
In multiple sports. Like football is his baby.
For sure.
But he can keep up in a basketball conversation. He can keep up in a baseball conversation. He can keep up with whatever sport is happening at the moment.
Yep.
And that just goes to show his craft and his natural God-given ability to just like lock in and know what he's talking about. He's just tapped in more than one field, and I think that's what really makes him a jack of all trades. And you feel me? Shout out to them, bro. Like I aspire for what we doing to be on the level of the pivot.
For sure.
I aspire that, bro. Like that's when I think of podcasting, I don't think about Joe Budden. I don't think about Mace and Cameron. I don't think about I Am Athlete. I think about I guess I could say I think about I Am Athlete in the early days when it was just like the brotherly camaraderie of the show.
Yeah, for sure.
How they would just riff and just kick it, and they was just like doing them.
Yeah.
I think like I literally see our show as the pivot. I see our show as what's Matt Barnes and them.
Oh, All the Smoke.
All the Smoke. I see it as the pivot. I see it as All the Smoke. I even like recently been kind of like tapped in, even with Jason Kelsey and
New Heights.
New Heights, bro. Like New Heights, bro. I love New Heights, boy.
No, New Heights is dope.
Like I was put on New Heights by my ex. I remember I was like semi panic mode, traveling down the road, bro, on family vacation. And I was just like, bro, like anxiety was just an all-time high. And like music wasn't working for me. Rolling the windows down just wasn't it. Cause like who wants to listen to that? And then like she was just like, let's try a podcast. And I was just like, all right, I mean, at this point, whatever will keep me driving and will keep me from having to pull over and like take a 30-minute
pull over and throw up.
Yeah, that's tight. So I was just like, bro, like whatever do that. She turned on New Heights, bro. And it was funny because she was just like, I'm surprised you ain't never really heard of this. Like I kind of like I seen him on TikTok. I thought it was funny. And she had been sending me videos of him, but I never really tapped in.
Yeah,
bro, I listened to New Heights for 12 hours.
Jesus Louises.
12 hours.
That's good though, bro. Like,
then I ain't gonna say I listened to New Heights for 12 hours straight, but like it was New Heights.
12 hours later.
It was Kadeen and DeVal, their podcast. and then it was B Simone, and I can't remember the other lady who was on the show with B Simone, but it was B Simone and her homegirl. Basically, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, they done.
They both,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
they
broke
broke
up.
up
Yeah, they
or
broke up.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
First the
we,
fat boys break up.
yeah, it was basically those three, and then that's when I really like locked in with podcasts, not just watching them on YouTube, but like hitting them up on their
Like on the
platform,
this
on the podcast
podcast.
platform, bro. And then that opened it up, and then you get Club Shay Shay, and that like I look for our show to be like Club Shay Shay's, and so to speak too. So it's just like, bro, like I aspire for all that to be. I don't ever see us ever like me and you. I'll say like, yeah, we be having our differences at times, but we also it don't be differences to the point where it's like, bro, I don't want to do this no more. It's
For
more
sure.
so differences because we both have creative ideas and
Mm-hmm.
mindsets. So like I could be feeling something and you like, we'll see. Now you could be feeling something, be like, bro, you gotta trust me. You gotta trust me on this.
I
But
mean,
listen
God,
to me.
just,
And I just
you
be,
know what I
and
mean?
sometimes, bro,
You know what I mean?
I be, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I be giving you kickback on it because I just be trying to be petty, like, because like you do it so much to me when I got an idea, you be like, man, we'll see. I'll see what I can do with that. But then when you come to me, you just be like, bro, trust me on this. You gotta believe me. You gotta trust me. I'd be like, all right, bro, bet, bro, Jair Alexander is locking this man up.
Nah, he's turning up.